Hi guys, welcome to a new functional course for Oracle Financial. In this course, I am going to teach you how to do implementation for Oracle Financial. Anyhow, we are going to arrange many training courses for you, and we have already uploaded some other training courses. And before Oracle Financial implementation training, if you did not take the course for Oracle E-Business Essentials for Implementers, so I will recommend you to go and take this course. Anyhow, we are uploading technical and functional courses for Oracle E-Business and Fusion application. For the time being, currently this course is for Oracle Financial Implementation or Oracle E-Business. Actually, if we need to do an implementation, especially for e-business, we use production environment. Normally many people give the training on the vision environment, but we prefer to give the training on the production environment, where there will be a very fresh environment and there will be no setup at all. In the vision instance, if you install the vision instance, so there will be a lot of setups are there. You can do the setup, you can do the practices, but you might miss some important points which will be problem for you while doing the real life configuration. So we will do real life configuration for you in Oracle Financial in this training course. In this training course, we will teach you about the core basics for the implementations, course structure, and then we will teach you about the general ledger, accounts payable, accounts receivable, fixed assets, cash management, I-expense, and HGIS. After that, if we get the time, we'll see also Oracle Property Manager. So if you did not subscribe to our channel, please subscribe to our channel so that you will be notified about all upcoming training videos. And please don't forget to press ring icon beside the subscribe button. Thank you very much.
Welcome to ICM TV. ICM TV, in collaboration with ICM Software House, is bringing many Oracle training courses for you free of cost. Please subscribe to ICM TV channel and don't forget to press ring icon so that you will be notified about all upcoming training videos, which include Oracle technical courses and Oracle functional courses. In Oracle technical courses, we are bringing two main different technologies, which is Oracle E-Business and Oracle Fusion applications. In Oracle E-Business and Fusion applications, we will give you trainings for DBA track as well as development tracks. In the DBA, we will give you core DBA as well as apps DBA and Fusion DBA. In the developer track, we will give you training on all the development technologies, which includes SQL, PLSQL, Java, Form Builder, Report Builder, OAF, ADF, Discover, and Business Intelligence. In the functional side, we'll give you trainings for Oracle Financial, Human Resource, Supply Chain, Project Management, and Manufacturing over the Oracle E-Business as well as Oracle Fusion application. ICM Software House is a multinational software company which is specialized in ERP solutions. So ICM Software House mainly provide the ERP solution and ERP services on different ERP solutions like Oracle, Microsoft, and SAP. So mainly ICM Software House, our strength is in Oracle solutions. In Oracle solutions, we provide all different types of solutions covering many different type of services, which includes Oracle licensing, Oracle implementation, consultancy, support, training, system audits, and gap analysis. In the support, we provide on-site as well as offshore support. We provide 24/7 support, which will be related to the technical or the functional areas. We make the SLA based on the customer need and the budget. Before starting training, let me introduce you myself. My name is Abdur Rahman and I am working on Oracle technologies from last more than 20 years. I completed my Oracle developer certification in year 2000. I have given training more than 5,000 students around the world, and I have given training in more than 15 different training institutions, which includes Oracle University Dubai, Oracle University Saudi Arabia, and many different Oracle training institutions. I'm a very strong developer and I build custom applications for more than 100 clients in Pakistan. I'm Oracle functional consultant and I did the Oracle e-business implementation for more than 50 companies in last 15 years. So I provide different types of services, which includes consultancy, implementation, as well as support. I'm Oracle, I do have a very strong Oracle Fusion application experience, as I am doing Oracle Fusion implementation from last 5 years. So I worked on more than 5 large projects on Oracle Fusion implementations. I'm a project manager. I do the project management for many projects. I run more than 10 large ERP implementation projects as a project manager. And I'm a very good solution architect, as I do have a strong hands-on working experience on Oracle technologies, which include DBA development as well as functional side. So any type of solution if I need to design, I can understand and design any type of solution very easily, though it goes across different technologies or it goes across different modules.
Does your company need Oracle Consultancy services for Oracle e-business and Oracle Fusion Cloud? If yes, ICM Software House is a multinational ERP consultancy company dealing in end-to-end ERP solution implementations on Oracle technologies, including Oracle e-business and Oracle Fusion Cloud implementations, business intelligence, mobile application development, and integrations. We are a team of dedicated professionals providing on-site and offshore ERP consultancy services in the international market. ICM is helping clients digitally transform and streamline their business processes by integrating many departments using ERP solutions to have paperless environments, along with the best analytical solutions for decision makers through business intelligence, and by ensuring business data availability and approvals on mobile apps. ICM's head office is located in Pakistan, with branch offices in many countries around the world, including Saudi Arabia, the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, Australia, and the United Arab Emirates. ICM provides Oracle ERP services, including solution-driven implementation based on best practices, 24/7 on-site and offshore support, business intelligence solutions, including data warehousing, mobile application development, corporate trainings, resource outsourcing on-site and offshore support, health checks, upgrading services, especially in Oracle. We offer comprehensive solutions to our clients for managing financial, human resources, procurement, supply chain, manufacturing, projects, property, asset maintenance, asset lifecycle management solutions, and more. We have a great deal of experience in healthcare, telecom, banking, real estate, construction, and the manufacturing business sectors. For more information, please visit our website or contact us via email, phone, or WhatsApp. We look forward to speaking with you soon.
So this is a functional course for Oracle e-business financials. So this course is designed for the people who want to learn Oracle financial implementation. So this course is arranged by ICM Software House, which is Oracle Gold Partner Company.
the people in the ICM software house, they are specialized in ERP consultancy. Now I will just explain you about the agenda for this course. In this course we will explain you about Oracle e-business, what are the introduction, what are the basic core building blocks for Oracle e-business, and then I will explain you what are the different modules and how it's integrated. After that I will teach you about the Oracle financials, and then once you learn about the basics for the Oracle financials, then we'll learn about Oracle e-business navigation. After that I will explain you e-business structure, then we'll go for financial setups and implementation. After that we will see how to have the user transactions. So in this Oracle financial implementation course we will cover all of those topics. So now first of all, Oracle e-business introduction. You must need to know in Oracle e-business there is one module which is called Oracle General Ledger. Oracle General Ledger is actually the central repository for all accounting information, because mainly Oracle financial module is very popular because it helps the management to get very strong business reportings. Business reportings mean financial reportings. So those financial reportings will be mainly catered from the General Ledger, as General Ledger is having all accounting information. Oracle General Ledger is considered as a central repository for accounting information, but actually it don't have all the transaction details. All the details are coming in the General Ledger from other modules called subledgers. For example, you have some inventory transactions. Inventory transactions will be recorded in inventory module, but at the end of the month or at any certain period, you will transfer your accounting information for your inventory transaction from inventory module to the General Ledger. Same like this cash management transaction, same like this fixed assets transaction. So you will be having all the transactions available in your module called subledger. So these are subledgers: assets, receivables, payables, order management, purchasing, cash management, inventory. These modules are called subledgers. Every subledger is having its own balances and its own transactions and its own master data, but at the end of month or at the end of each transaction there will be an accounting information. This accounting information will be from all modules called subledgers transferred to the General Ledger. So to help the General Ledger to prepare the financial reportings. So actually all the financial reportings will be created through the General Ledger. So that's why the General Ledger is very important, and the structure for the General Ledger is very important, which I am going to explain you. Okay, now you see in Oracle e-business, and Oracle e-business is a bunch of modules. It's like more than 200 modules, and which is having different module suites, like manufacturing suite, like financial suite, like Oracle project suites, like human resource or human capital suite, like CRM and supply chain suites. Every suite is having its own transactions, and like Oracle financial suite is having subledger, submodules, and its own transactions. So Oracle financial is integrated integrated bunch of modules, which is integrated with all other modules like projects, like human resource, like for example CRM, like supply chain, like manufacturing. So in Oracle e-business is designed in a way that modules can work separately or they can work together, so that if some user or some companies they need to purchase some certain modules, they can go for only those modules. But if the company need to expand or add more modules, or they need to start with many modules, they can start with many modules. If a company need to do the implementation starting with 3 modules or 5 modules, they can start. Or they want to start with 30 modules, they can start. They can start from 3 and they can reach up to 30, like move and improve concept. So whatever is the flexibility is there in the system, whatever the flexibility business is looking for, the user is looking for, the management is looking for, it can be designed and it can be provided by Oracle e-business as well as Oracle financial. So the most important thing in the Oracle is that it is all integrated modules with Oracle financial especially. So in Oracle Financial module, what the modules I am going to cover, first of all, we will learn about the general ledger, and we will do the setup and implementation for a general ledger for one sample company. Then we'll come and we will do the payables configuration and setup. Before that, I will teach you about the payable concepts. Then we will come to the receivables. We'll learn the receivable main important concepts, setup, transaction, and how we will use the receivables. After that, same way, we will come to the cash management, and we'll do the cash and bank transaction and the reconciliation. After that, we will learn about Oracle fixed assets. I'll teach you how to configure, set up and use Oracle fixed assets. Then we will do some configuration for the taxation module, because approximately all the countries around the world, they use taxation on financial transactions. And then we will learn about the I expenses. I expenses will be mainly used for the expense reports. So these modules will do the configuration, setup and implementation, and you will learn how to do this thing. As I explained you, all the setups, all the implementation will be on the fresh instance. It will not be on the Vision instance. Okay, so let's move forward. Oracle Journal Ledger. So as I explained you that Oracle Journal Ledger is a central repository. Journal Ledger central repository, it stores all journal accounting information, for each and every single transaction which is having accounting and financial impact. It has to be in Oracle Journal Ledger. Okay, so whenever all the transactions will be coming to the Journal Ledger, then the users or the financial people can be able to generate financial statements. Financial statements mainly consisting of the account statement, trial balance, income statement and balance sheet. All those reports are generated actually from the Journal Ledger module. So in the Journal Ledger module, if you need to do setup or the implementation, the most important concept is called ledger, because you will have to configure ledgers. So we will do the configuration for the ledgers, but first of all you need to have some concept. I'll explain you the concept. If you have any question or any concern, please comment so that I will be able to explain you, or I can explain you, or you can get my WhatsApp number. On that WhatsApp number I can help you, guide you, and I can brief you for any concept or for any questions or for any concerns. Anyhow, in Oracle financial modules, you will configure a ledger. So ledger is consisting of 4 things: chart of account, currency, calendar and accounting methods. So these 4 things, once you club together, then it will build a ledger. Okay, so you need to make the ledgers, because all accounting transactions will be linked with the ledger. So if you are working with a very big company or big organization, you can have one or many ledgers. So you can have primary ledger, you can have a secondary ledger, you can have foreign currency ledgers. So these ledgers I will teach you gradually. You will learn about the terms, and then we will do some implementations. Anyhow, you need to understand that whatever the basic building block for your implementation for any financial module is called ledger. So ledger is consisting of 4 things: chart of account, currency, calendar and accounting method. So if you have, for example, 20 company and any out of these 4 things are different, then you will need to have a different ledger. But if all of those things are same in all the companies, then it's better that you will go with one ledger. Anyhow, once you learn about all the building blocks, once you know how to do the implementation, then at the time once you will study the business requirements, you can decide that how many ledgers you need to design for your customer. Anyhow, let's go to the next topic, which is called chart of account. Normally, chart of account is built is a flexible structure which any financial implementation consultant have to configure. So if you know the technical, so technically in the database everything is stored in a table. So here you can build a dynamic table. dynamic table without using any coding. So this is called flex field. I'll explain you the flex field, but using the flex field you can build your chart of account. There is one flex field which is called accounting flex field. For this accounting flex field you must need to configure to start doing the implementation for your Oracle e-business and for your Oracle Fusion application as well. So anyhow, chart of account may be consisting of more than one segment. So there can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 segments. Some company can have one segment, some company have 2, some company have 5 or 6 or 7. Basically this chart of account or this segmentation is very much helpful to build the reports. The way the management wants to see the reports, based on that you can build your chart of account, or you can build your, you can say, accounting structure. So this chart of account and accounting structure is very much core important thing which you need to build very much carefully to start the implementation. If you do any mistake and if you don't meet the customer requirements, or it will be too much lengthy, then it will be a problem. So the first and the most important thing, which is the heart of the whole ERP implementation, is chart of account. So well designed chart of account save a lot of efforts in the future, and it will give you much better results. So you need to understand the importance of the chart of account, and you need to put full focus, so that this is a very much important topic for you to understand about the chart of account. Anyhow, I know this is a bit complicated for the people who did not work like on the technical or the functional things before, but this is very important. So whenever you will be starting working on this, you need to build a flex field called accounting flex field. There are many flex fields, but there is an accounting flex field. For this you need to design a structure. This structure will help you to build better reports. For example, I'm just giving you as an example, you can have one segment called company, or one column called company, and you can have one column or segment called division, and then you can have one column or segment called department, and one column or segment called account and a project. So why I say column and why I say segment is that because if you see functional term, in functionally it will be a segment, but if I convert this functional to a technical term, that this all is a dynamic table which will be built by you can say your functional team without doing any coding, but actually the structure will be maintained like a table. Like for example, if you are going to build a table, for this table you have a column company, you have a column division, you have a column department, you have a column account, and you have a column project, and under each column you record the data. So here also functionally you will be having segments, and under each segments you will be having your data or your information, which it can be later. So clubbing these all segments together will be called chart of account. So chart of account, the values which are recorded in segment 1, segment 2, segment 3, segment 4 and segment 5. From this you will choose some value from the segment 1, you will choose value from segment 2, you will choose value from segment 3, you will choose value from segment 4, and you will choose value from segment 5. So this will build a code combination, and for each code combination system will store the transaction and system will store the balances, and for each code combination there will be a description. As for example, if you come here company, so 01 is a company X, 02 is a company Y. So actually in your transaction you will choose the code, but you will be having the description stored in your flex field value sets or the values. So this is basically chart of account. I'm again repeating, this is the one of the most core important common concept which will be required for the financial functional implementers for Oracle e-business and for Oracle Fusion applications. Okay, and then you will come here, and then there is one more important concept is called currency. All the transactions will be recorded in currency. Some currency is called functional currency or base currency. Actually system will be recording all your transaction in the base currency, and then on the top of that you can have additional currencies for which will be called foreign currencies. Your transaction can be recorded in the foreign currency provided if you have the currency rates either predefined or the user defined or the corporate rates are linked with the currency. So for example, in our example, we are going to use SAR, which is Saudi Riyal, which will be our base currency, which will be our functional currency. And then we will be having major transaction in the Saudi Riyal, but we might be having some transaction dealing with the companies outside Saudi Arabia for USD or in the euro. And then, for example, this company which is available in Saudi Arabia is owned by a business group which is available in the US. So US business group owners or the stakeholders, they want to have the transactional or the financial statements in another currency called reporting currency. So you can have transactions recorded in the base functional currency. You can have all the balances available in the functional currency, and on the top of that you will be having a reporting currency for which all your transaction or the balances will be automatically converted to the reporting currency, and then foreign currency will be used to record the transactions. So these are the currencies. So to make a ledger, you must need to have a chart of account, you must need to define the currencies, and you must need to have a certain calendar. So calendar can be like based on the calendar month or based on the fiscal periods. So fiscal period can be based on the country or based on the legislation or based on the company. Some companies, they might be having their fiscal year start of June. Some companies might be starting their fiscal year in the September. Some companies might be starting their fiscal year in March or April or whatever. Or some companies might be having in the January. So based on the business requirements, you can have one or multiple calendars. For example, you are building a structure for a business group which is having some companies in Saudi Arabia, some companies in Europe, some companies in US, some companies in Pakistan, some companies in India. So for that type of business group, every company need to deal with the taxation requirement of that country, and some countries having different fiscal years and some companies having different fiscal years. For that you might need to have multiple calendars to be defined. So we will see how we will define the calendar, and then first of all you will build your the reporting structure. Actually the ledger help you to build your reporting structure. Chart of account actually mainly help you to build your reporting structure, and in this ledger you will be having chart of account, you will be having currency, you will be having calendar, and you will be having accounting method. Every company is having one accounting method, either this is cash basis or this is accrual basis. So these four options, once you choose, then it will help you to build a ledger. Okay, we will see how to build a ledger. So this will help you to build your basic core structure. Once you have basic core structure for the reporting, then there is one more important structure which will be very much helpful for you to control data and the data security. That is called business structure. So business structure, in the business structure you will be having legal entity. Legal entity is a legal company. Is a legal company which is registered with you can say a government organization. So under which that company has to submit their financial statements. So whatever will be the company who's reporting to the, you can say, government organization, that will be considered a legal entity. So one ledger can be linked with more than one legal entities. Okay, and then under each legal entity you can have more than one operating units. You can have more than one operating unit. For example, we have legal entity like white. This white legal entity can have 3 operating units. I'm just giving a white mean, it can be any company name, like for example PNG, like for example KPMG, whatever will be the company name. For that company there can be more than one operating unit, and same like this in another company there can be one or more operating unit, and same like this in another company there can be one or more operating unit. So for one ledger there can be multiple legal entities, and for each legal entities there can be multiple operating units. Okay, so now we'll come to the journal ledger. Each and every transaction will be recorded in the GL as a journal. So there will be different types of journal. If you are going to create a journal, for each journal there can be a batch, there can be journal header information, and then can be journal lines information. So as I explained you, every transaction will be at the end recorded in the journal ledger. For example, if you are working on the accounts payables or accounts receivable, you record your transaction in the payables as an invoice. For this invoice, system will generate automatically an accounting information. This will be a JV or a journal. That journal will be available in the payable, and when you transfer from the payable to journal ledger, so it will be a GLJV. Okay, so every GLJV will be having a batch information, will be having header information, and will be having detailed lines information. This we will see how it will be in the future. So if you are working on the GL, there will be actually two main types of the journals: basic journals and advanced journals. If you see the basic journal, in the basic journal you will be having manual journal entries, as well as you will be having imported journals. Imported journals are the journals which are coming from other modules called subledgers, like the journals which are created in the payables or receivables or fixed assets or inventory or payroll. Those will be imported journals. Along with that, you might need to have some adjustment transaction in the GL. That transactions are called manual journals. So in the GL, you will be having basic journals, and under the basic journals there will be manual journal and there will be imported journals. And then you might need to have reversal. For example, if you make some transactions and you did some wrong entry, you cannot delete if this transaction has been posted. And then what the choice you have for the wrong or the mistaken entries, you can only do the reversal for those entries. So you can have manual journals, you can reverse the journals. These are the basic journals. And then in Oracle we have advanced journal as well. So in the advanced journals we have recurring journals and we have mass allocation journals. So recurring journals mean your journals which are created, and those journals can be, you will build a template for the journals, and for that journal system will automatically generate the transaction every month. For example, you need to pay rent every month, so you can make a formula, you can make a template for the recurring journal, so that system will automatically generate rent invoice every month, and you don't need to record the rent invoice every month. So this type of journals are called recurring journals. And then there will be mass allocation. Mass allocation means if you need to divide the cost for some expenses on some cost centers or on some other companies, for that purpose you will use the mass allocation. Okay, so these are advanced journals. So as I'm just going to explain you that, for example, you are working with a company and you have to pay the rent for 3 companies like Chicago rent, Paris rent and Tokyo rent. You have total rent because you are paying one total rent to the rental company, and this rent you will divide based on the ratios or the proration or the formula which will be set by your financial people. That can be based on the consumption or based on the size or whatever the way they want to allocate. For example, you have a building. In this building you have 3 separate offices, and for 3 separate offices you receive only one rent, and you want to divide the rent on the 3 company based on any formula or the rule, you will use the cost allocation. Same like this, for example, you have rent expense for one company, but this company is having multiple departments. For each department you want to calculate the cost for the rent, you can same way you can have the allocation in your journals. So that will be your accounting mass allocation, that can be handled through the mass allocation. So whenever you are working on the Oracle Journal Ledger, you might be having budget, or you might be having encumbrance enabled. So if you will be having a budget or encumbrance enabled for every journal or every transaction or every PO, you might need to check the funds, or you need to reserve the funds. For that purpose you can have some additional encumbrance transaction, and you can reserve the funds, and you can check the funds, and you can upload the budgets before that, so that you can have the balances for your funds. So these are the basic things. Now what the setups are required to configure the Oracle Journal Ledger. First of all, we will make setup for the chart of account. Then for the chart of account we will make flex field, and we will make value sets. Then we will configure currencies, we will configure calendar, we will set up the ledger, we will configure the business group, we will configure legal entity, and we will go for the accounting setup manager, will make the budgets, and then we will open the period, we will configure some important profiles, and then after that we will do the transaction. These are the most common and very important setups which are must required. Actually, financial is having a lot of option because it's not built for one company, it's built for millions or billions of the companies. So we will not go for all the setups. We will go initially only the required setups which are the must to for you to build a structure for one company. Yeah, so after completing the GL setups, we will move toward the accounts payables. So let me briefly introduce you about accounts payables. Accounts payables module is used for the payments. It's used to deal with the vendors or the suppliers. So accounts payables, normally in the accounts payable, we created the supplier invoices. So normally whatever the payments we need to make it to our vendors, it will be through the accounts payables. Okay, so accounts payable is a module which is tightly integrated with other e-business modules like general ledger. Whatever the accounting transactions will be in the accounts payables, for those transactions it will create accounting entries, and accounting entries will be transferred to the general ledger. So accounts payable is fully integrated with the GL, and accounts payable is linked with and integrated with purchase orders. So all the purchase orders information will be transferred from purchasing to the accounts payables, so that you can match your POs with the invoices, and the supplier information is shared between payables and purchasing. So you can define suppliers either from payable or from the purchasing. This will be shared information. Okay, so purchasing information will be linked with the payables, and from that there will be accounting which will be transferred to the GL. Then there is a module Oracle Property Manager. Property manager is having all the information related to your leases. So lease information which you will be getting the lease from the parties. For those leases you will be having all the rental agreements which it will be stored in the property manager module, and this will be fully integrated with the payables, because whenever you need to make payment to those property or landlords, so it will be through the payables. Same like this, it is tightly integrated with the Oracle projects module, because whenever you make the projects, for those projects you might have some certain purchase orders, you might have some certain inventory information, you might have some invoices. So for those invoices, for those projects you will also have the budgets. So all the budgets, all the invoices, all the commitments, all the information related to the projects, it's tightly integrated. And all the invoices, whenever you make an invoice against a project, it will be having all the project related information available in the payables module. Same like this, it's integrated with fixed assets, it's integrated with supplier portal, it's integrated with expense, order management, and employee information, because sometimes you use expense reports to deal with your expenses or to deal with your petty cash. For that purpose, it is tightly integrated with employees or with your human resource data. Supplier portal is used to deal with the suppliers through the portal, and expenses used to record your expenses. So to cut it short, Oracle Payable is tightly integrated with all other required ERP modules, especially those modules which are coming part of the P2P. P2 means procure to pay process. So procure to pay process is a very important process where you will make the payment. The process will start from the procurement until the payment. Okay. Now, if you see here in Oracle Payables, there is something called supplier or the vendor. So whatever the parties will be there, you will be having their information recorded in your system as a supplier, which will be your master data. For each supplier there can be multiple sites, like for example we have supplier, like for example we have one supplier XYZ. For that supplier we will be having one site or one branch Tokyo, one branch in Paris, one branch is New York, and for each branch there can be a different purpose, or there can be a different responsible person. For example, we say that for XYZ company, Tokyo is a site which is for the purchasing and RFQ only, and then there is one site in the purchase for the purchasing, and the one site which we can say, for example, head office, this is for the payment. So whatever POs we will make for this site, and whatever the PO we will make for this site, and then ultimately we will pay for the site where there is a payment site. So for one supplier there can be multiple sites, and for each site there can be multiple reasons, or there can be multiple responsible persons to deal or to communicate with that. So that's the way Oracle maintain the supplier information. Now in the payables we deal with the invoices. So normally whenever you need to make advance payment to any supplier, so you make prepayments, and all the other mainly normal standard types of invoices are there. You will make standard invoices. Against those standard invoices you can make the payment. And then for example sometime you need to do adjustment transaction. For those adjustment transaction we have debit memos and credit memos. Along with that we can sometimes use mixed type of invoices that might be using for the refund type of transactions. Anyhow, mainly whenever you are using accounts payables, your main transactions will be standard invoices, okay, and then prepayments, then maybe debit memo and credit memo. After the invoices you can have the payments. So payments will be either pay in full or partial payments. So you can have partial payments or pay in full against your invoices, and normally if the company is using procurement module, so your invoices will be against the purchase orders, okay. As soon as payments are as soon as possible, or it can be on specific date and time, or it can be periodically, or only once. So whatever will be your payment terms, whatever will be your formula for the payments, you can make the payments from the accounts payables module. So when we will be going to do the setup for purchasing, when we will be going to do the setup for the payables, so first of all we have to make inventory calendar, because when we will be doing financial setups for the payables, financial options configuration, so it will ask inventory organization. So before that we need to build an inventory organization, and before building inventory organization we need to define an inventory calendar. So for the payables, required setup is to define the inventory calendar, then inventory organization, then we will configure financial options, then we will configure payment terms, then we will configure payable options, and then payable system options. We'll do all these configuration, and then we'll come for the suppliers, and after that we will open the periods. Then we will do the transactions for the payables, which will be like invoices and the payments. So all those topics we are going to cover in the payables part. After completing the setups for the payables, we will move toward the accounts receivable. Accounts receivable is for the receiving whatever the amounts we will receive from the customers, that will be in the accounts receivable. So accounts receivable, same like payables, is tightly integrated with other, you can say, e-business modules. So accounts receivable, in the accounts receivable you will be having all the information about your invoices related to the customer, okay, and accounts receivable is integrated with order management module as well as inventory module, okay, and then for those accounts receivable transactions your information will be transferred to Oracle Journal Ledger. Now we'll see the customers. Same like, for example, we have suppliers, we have customers here. So in the suppliers we have supplied sites, Here in the customers we have customer sites also. For one customer we can have one or more sites, or for each site we can have multiple accounts. Or for example, we have a party. For this party we can have the locations. Normally we create the locations, and those locations will be linked with the parties. And then for each party, that can be either person or that can be either organization. For that party, either person or organization, you will be having party site, and for each site there will be an account, and each account will be having like site purpose, like this site is for the bill to purpose, or this is for the ship to purpose. So we will be having one customer, and for one customer there will be multiple sites, and for multiple sites there will be multiple reasons why we deal with this site. Okay, so this more or less it's the same structure as we have in the payables for the suppliers. Now we can build our customer profiles. So if we make the profiles, these profiles we can link with our customers. Like for example, we can have class 1 supplier, class 2 supplier, class 3 suppliers, and that will be based on their credit rating or based on their payment background or payment history. So you might be having payment terms, and like 90 days, 30 days, cash on delivery. Based on those payment terms or based on that transactions history, you can build your own profile classes, and then based on those profile classes your rules will be applied to the customers which are coming under that classes. Now the next part is invoices. So invoices, you will issue the invoices to your customers through the Oracle receivables. So for each invoice there will be invoice header section, and there will be customer information, and there will be invoice lines. So in the invoice header section there will be invoice number, there will be invoice source. Invoice source means invoice can be directly recorded in the Oracle receivable, or it might be imported from the order will be imported from the, you can say, order management module, or it can be, for example, third party solution normally from that third party solution, because sometimes some companies they don't use Oracle order management solution, so they might be having their own sales solution. For that sales solution they integrate directly with Oracle receivable. For that purpose they might be having a different source for the transactions or for the receivable invoices. And then there will be receivable class. Receivable class can be different. There are different classes you can make in the receivable. That can be invoice, that can be credit memo, debit memo, whatever. So all this type of information you will record as an invoice header, and then you will record the customer information. With the customer information you will choose either bill to or the ship to. Normally all the invoices have to be linked with the bill to address, because you are billing. If it's order can be to the ship to sites. But normally sometimes we define the supplier, and same supplier is having one site bill to ship to. For that purpose you can choose that site. And now for the sites you can have the detailed information. Detailed information means whatever is the quantity, whatever is the price, and whatever are the items you sold. For those items you will be having accounting information, and that accounting information you can transfer to the general ledger. Now once you have the invoices, after that invoices you will make the receipts. So receipts can be against the, you can say, invoices. Once you create a receipt you need to apply on a customer invoice. Sometimes you will be having the invoices unapplied invoices, so you can record the receipts without, you can say, invoice as well. But usually you will make a receipt against the customer invoice, and then for that the customer balance will be maintained, and then you will be able to do the clearing. Normally some companies using bank reconciliation or cash management module for the bank reconciliation. So if you are using, then you can have the reconciliation, and then you will be able to do the reconciliation in the cash management module. So once you record the receipt, so for each receipt there can be different types of statuses. Like receipt can be confirmed, it can be cleared, it can be approved, it can be reversed, it can be remitted, whatever will be the status, you can go and you can see the status for a receipt. AP/AR netting, normally This will be used, for example, sometimes you have a vendor and the same person is or same company is your customer as well. So sometimes you are making the payment to that customer, sometimes you are receiving from that customer. For that purpose, you make you can say a vendor or customer, and then you will be able to doing the netting for AP payment and AR receipt. So this will be also AP AR netting. So now we will see the system setup. We will do all the setups and configuration. We will do the system setups. We will do the text profile options. So these are the important, you can say, must required setups which we must have to do for Oracle Receivable. So first of all, we will do the system setups, system parameters configuration. Then we will do the text profile. Then we will set up the payment terms. Then we will configure the system options. Then auto counting, receivable activities, transaction sources, transaction types, receipts, sources and receipt classes. So this is a minimum setup which is required to build at least initial financial setup. So we will do all this initial financial setup for example company, and then we will do our receiving transactions, and then we will make the receipts. So this is all about Oracle Receivable. So once we will finish our receivable setups and receivable transactions, then we will go to the cash management. So we have cash management module. In the cash management module, we normally do bank statement reconciliation. This is the main part. Some companies, they do the bank statement reconciliation. Some companies, they don't do the bank statement reconciliation. So normally what you do as a process, we receive the bank statement from the bank. Normally the bank will provide the bank statement we will give you online access, and from the online access you can download your bank statement, and then from the bank statement you can upload the bank statement in your system. Uploading can be by technical team, or it can be through the data loader. So once you upload the bank statement, then you can do the reconciliation, and that reconciliation means you will be matching your payments or receipt or GL transaction with the transactions which are done in the, you can say, in the bank statement from the bank. So then you will be having a bank statement from the bank, and you will be having bank statement from your current system, and then you can match whatever the transactions are more in the bank or less in the bank than your system. And if you find any discrepancies, you need to go and you need to check. So this will help you to manage your cash flows and your cash positioning in much more better way. But normally it will be an additional effort for the accountants. So a lot of companies, accountants, they don't do the reconciliation. Anyhow, the feature is there. If they want to do, they can do. So they will review the results, and then based on the reconciliation, whatever will be reconciled entries, so system will generate the accounting entry, and these accounting entries will be transferred to the general ledger. So this is the complete process flow for the cash management module. So normally in the Oracle, this is the bank account model. So Oracle in 12.2, there is a trading community architecture. In the trading community architecture, first of all, you will define the banks and you will define the branches. Okay, these are the standards which will be available in other modules as well. And then from that you will define the bank accounts, and those bank accounts will be available in payable, receivable, payroll and treasury management modules. So this is how your bank model will be working. So there will be in the Oracle 12.2 centralized banking system is introduced. You can have a bank account which either can be linked with the legal entity or it can be linked with operating unit. For example, you have a bank account. For that bank account, you need to make the payments or the receipts in many operating units. So in that case, you will link your bank account with the legal entity. But if you want to have a bank account for only transactions related with some certain operating unit, so that you can also do. So this is the concept for the centralized or distributed banking. Whatever the way you want to configure the banking, you can do. But Oracle by itself as a system functionality provide you the feature to have the central banking based on the legal entities. So these legal entities will be linked with modules wherever it is required. So this is all about cash. This is all about the cash management. After the cash management, we will go to the fixed assets. So normally in Oracle or in any ERP system, you will record all your fixed assets. For those fixed assets, you will be able to calculate the depreciation. So this we will do all the setups for the fixed assets. So fixed assets, like other modules, is integrated with all other ERP modules wherever it is required. Like for example, fixed assets, it is linked with the payables. Normally what happen, you will be having purchase orders. Against those purchase orders, you will be having the payables invoices, and against those payable invoices, you will transfer to the fixed assets module if this is related to asset transactions. Okay, asset related invoices will be able to transfer to the fixed assets module, and then for those fixed assets module, you will be having accounting entries. Same like this, you will be having human resource, and in the human resource you will be having all the employees data and any assets which you have in your assets repository. Those assets can be assigned to your employees. Okay, that can be for example car or house or any assets which is related to the company. That can be laptop or whatever you want, or furniture. So assets can be linked with the employees, asset is integrated with the payables, so projects can be capitalized as an assets. Okay, sometimes you have buildings, you have some big projects which at the end, after incurring many costs, it will become as assets after the capitalization. So it is linked with the projects module, as well as it's linked with the accounts payables for the discount related information as well. So it is linked with the inventory also, because you can have asset as an inventory, and those inventory you will be having asset in and out transactions. So asset is fully integrated with all other ERP modules. So once you are working on the fixed assets module, so in the fixed assets module, you will be having something called asset. Like for example, we have a car. On the car or on any asset, what the operations we can do? For the asset, we can do additions. We can add assets manually in the fixed assets module. We can add external assets, which it can be coming from other module, like from the payable invoices, or we can have assets from the CIP, capital in progress. So there are three ways to add assets in the fixed assets module. Once you have assets available in the fixed assets module, for those assets you can do the adjustments. Sometimes asset cost is some partially depreciated or not depreciated. For example, you have a car and this car make an accident and this car is damaged, so partial retirement on that car might happen. As well as, for example, if you add some additional accessories or additional equipment on a car, so you can have additional amounts on the car. For example, we purchase a car on 100,000 real and then it make an accident, so we partially retire half 50% of the car, so car price make 50,000. Now we spend more money on this car, like 30,000, to re-renovate, so we make the additional amount on the car. So for the car, for any asset which is available in your fixed asset repository, you can do adjustments as well. Now, for example, for any asset, if you assign one car to one person, so you want to transfer this car from one person to another person, you can transfer, or you want to transfer a car or any asset from one location to another location, you can do the transfers as well. And then, for example, if you need to do the retirement, so car completed its cost or it's damaged due to the accident or due to any problem, you can retire the car. You can retire partially, you can retire fully. So this is, you can apply the retirements. You can handle the taxes also, because whenever you purchase an asset, so for that asset there might be taxation. For those taxes also handled with the fixed assets as well. And once you have an asset, you can have the depreciation. So a lot of assets, mostly in the company's assets, are depreciable. Like for example, you have a car. For this car, you calculate the life 5 years. For 5 years, you can have depreciation calculation based on the straight line method, and based on that system will calculate monthly the depreciation. So there is a setup. Based on that setup, we can calculate based on the straight line, or based on the monthly basis, or we can make based on the daily basis depreciation calculation for any assets. So these are different types of transactions which we will do on the assets, like asset addition, asset adjustment, asset transfer, asset retirement, asset taxes, asset depreciation. And for all of those transactions, there will be a journal entries. So whenever you complete your transactions, might be you can run the depreciation process for the assets, and then you can create the journal entries. So these journal entries can be transferred to your journal ledger module, so that you will be able to complete your month end, or you can complete your closing or accounting processes. So all these transactions are available in the fixed assets, and then accounting entries transferred to the journal ledger. And in the Oracle fixed assets, you have some certain reports to inquire about the data, as well as you can inquire about the data from the screens. So there is a screen. On this screen you can search, you can see any financial information, you can see any transfer or depreciation information about the assets. All the transactions you can see on the screen through online inquiry, as well as you can see all your assets in the reports builder. Now whenever you are working on the assets, so for the assets, you will define the assets books. For example, you have multiple companies, you can have for those multiple companies define asset books for one for each company. And asset book can be either corporate asset book, or taxation asset book, or the budget asset books. For your assets, you can have multiple books, and then those books are assigned to categories, and your assets will be assigned to the category, because based on that categories, your accounts, your depreciation method will be linked, and based on that your depreciation will be calculated. So this is all about asset books. So we will create the assets books, we will create the assets, we will do the asset transactions as well. Now if you are working on the assets, so there are 3 flex fields which we must need to configure. So flex field, as I explained you, flex field is a flexible field. It's a, you can say, a table. You can say virtual table, where you can define multiple fields based on your requirement. For example, you have asset category flex field. For this, you might be having 2 columns, major category and minor category, or you can be having more than 1 column, major category, minor category, and the project. Whatever is your business requirement, so you have to configure this asset category. And then same like this, we have another flex field called location. Under the location, you will add the segments for the location, which can be 2, 3, 4, 5 segments, whatever the number of segments you want. And then you can also have asset keys to identify assets based on the keys, whatever is based on your business requirement. So these are the 3 flex fields which are used in Oracle Financial fixed assets. Along with that, we have 1 flex field only, which will be mainly used in the, you can say, journal ledger, which will be to build the chart of account. So once we need to do the setup for the fixed assets, so we will do setup controls, then we will configure the flex fields, then we'll configure the fiscal calendars, then we will configure the fixed asset calendar, we will do some proration convention settings, then we will do we'll create asset books, then we'll define asset categories, then we'll define asset location, asset keys, and then we will be able to define our assets. Once our assets are there, then we can apply our transactions like adjustment, like transfer, or like retirement, or whatever actions we need to perform, or the depreciation we will be able to do once we will be able to do all the setups. So in this course we learn about Oracle e-business introduction and the Oracle Financial. I explain you now. In the next part I will explain you Oracle e-business navigation. After that we will do the structure configuration, then we'll go for the financial setups and the transactions. So thank you very much.
lecture we learn about the basics for the Oracle e-business. So I explained you in the last lecture that Oracle e-business is a collection of different modules, and those modules are fully and tightly integrated. And in the Oracle e-business we have main module suits: financial, human resource, supply chain, procurement, material and projects modules. Along with that we have manufacturing as well as EM, property and some other modules are there in the Oracle e-business. Now today we are going to do some Oracle application navigation. If you don't know about Oracle e-business, or even if you are working on the Oracle e-business, this course will be very much helpful for you, because I am going to teach you some very important tips about Oracle application. So in this course I will just familiarize you with Oracle e-business environment. I saw many users in the market working on the Oracle e-business, but they don't know how to quickly and fastly do the navigation in the application. If they will learn and they will do they will learn, they can do better, faster navigation, and they can perform daily operation in more faster and better way. Anyhow, in today's session, first of all I will explain you about Oracle application login, and then after that I will explain you about different responsibilities, functions and notifications. After that I am going to teach you different types of forms. There is self-service form and there is a professional form. So I will explain you what are the self-service forms and what are the professional forms, and then next I will familiarize you with application toolbar, and then I will explain you what are the important routine functions, and then you can make top 10 list of most important frequent actions which you perform in your routine life. After that I will explain you about the shortcut keys. Shortcut keys are always very important if you are doing a lot of work, and then after that I'll explain you how to run reports in Oracle applications.
Now let us start using Oracle e-business application. Once you go to main page, the link which will be provided to you by your database administrator or your IT team, you will see a screen like this. On this screen you will see here username and password. So here you need to put the username which will be provided to you by your IT team or by your system administrator. Here is something called language. If you have multi languages installed like Arabic or any other language, you can choose the language. For example, I want to open Arabic interface. I can click on the Arabic. So my application is now in Arabic, and then if you need to change, you can go to the change it in English. So if I change it in Arabic, then all my application and my forms and whole application will be in Arabic. So for the time being I will work on the English language. For example, if I come here, I put my username, then I put my password. So by giving username and password, it will open my Oracle e-business application. If you see here on the left hand side, there is a navigator. In this navigator, it will show you list of responsibilities which are assigned to you based on your role. Whatever is your designation or the role assigned to you, based on that, some responsibilities will be assigned to you. If you are in for example, account, you might be having general ledger super user or general ledger user. If you are in HR, then maybe you will be having HRMS or HR user or payroll user. Whatever will be the role and whatever the responsibilities or whatever the actions you need to perform, based on that you will be assigned one or multiple responsibilities. So those responsibilities will be visible in the navigator side. And here is something called work list. Whatever the notification you will receive, it will be showing in the work list. Like any approvals, you want to do the approvals, you can see the approval. So this is simple, interface which you can see. If you want to change your screen design or the interface, so what you can do, you can come here to the preferences. For example, if I come in the preferences and I want to change the visual style, then for example, I can choose here framework simplified. If I choose here framework simplified, and I will click apply.
So I just changed my interface for my screen. I can just log out and I put again my username and password. So now my interface has been changed. This is more mobile interface, or you can say tablet or laptop like tablet type interface. So you can have a different interface. In this interface you can put the most important icons which you want to see. So we have in Oracle two different types of interfaces. One is simplified and one is tree style interface. Anyhow, I can go and I can change the interface from the preferences again. Here I can choose here, for example, framework tree. Now you can choose your base language by default language. If you are a more Arabic user, you can choose Arabic. So that by default your language will be Arabic. If you are English user, you can choose English, so your default language will be English. Now as I explain you, you can choose from here the visual style, whatever the style you want to choose. And here are some of the territory and date format and number formats, whatever you want. Okay, for example, if you are working in Saudi Arabia, you can choose from here Saudi Arabia. If you are working in any other country, you can choose the country where you are working. So that will be your territory where you are working. So system will consider the territory based on your choice. So there will be some territory which is fixed in Oracle application, and there is some territory which user can put for himself also. Here you can choose your date format. So here is by default date format in this application is this one. But for you, if you want to put dots or whatever the format you want to change for the dates, you can choose from here. And here is numeric values, and here is default currencies, whatever currency you want to make a default, so you choose from here default currency. Now for example, if you need to change your password, you can change password from here. You put your current password and you can put the new password here, so that you will be able to change your password. Now here is notification style. If your email server is configured, so based on this, here is notification style. If your email is configured, then you will see the notification either by email or with attachment or whatever the notification style you want to choose. Or if you don't want to receive any notification, you can choose from here the notification. Now for example, you don't work on a lot of forms, so you have only one or two forms. You can choose here the responsibility or some responsibility which you want the system to open by default. So you can choose here any function which is you are using most frequently and the page you are using most frequently. You will choose, and system whenever you will log in, it will open the same page for you or the same form for you. So then after that you can apply. So this is how you can as a user change the preferences for your screen.
So as I see here, these are the responsibilities, and if I go and see, for example, there is one responsibility called General Ledger Super User. I just click on the General Ledger Super User, so it will open sub menus for this responsibility. So for example, if I click on the journals, so I find functions. These are the functions and these are the sub menus, or what we can say subfolders. For example, this is having a different symbol and this is having a different symbol. So this symbol indicates that this is HTML form, or what we can say this is self-service form. Self-service form or HTML form don't require Java to be installed in your machine. And here if you click on this, so it will open in Java. So actually a lot of professional forms in Oracle are designed in Java, and a lot of now Oracle is converting from many forms from Java to self-service form. Okay, especially for the master data forms for which there are not a lot of transactions are involved, so those are already converted to self-service forms. And especially the forms which require a lot of transactions, so they put it in the Java, because Java, to work on the Java, it will be faster. So actually if you click on the Java, so it will open your Java and it will download the jar file or the form in your computer cache.
and whenever next time you run your form, it will be faster. First time if you open any form, it will take little bit of more time, but whenever you run this again, it will be much faster. So before working on the Java, I'll just show you. If you come here on the home, this will open in Java. This don't require Java. For example, I click on this form, so this will open without Java in the browser. So there are two types of form, one is Java based and one is self-service based. So if I come here, so this is, for example, Oracle screen. I can just click on this, and if you find here, you will see this is application navigator. Now let's explore through the form application. Now we just come here. So this is a menu. This on the top is a menu bar, and this is a toolbar. Okay. For example, this button is to change the responsibility. If you see here black cap, so this means you can change the responsibility from this window. I just come here, choose, for example, now this is a responsibilities window. It will show me what all the responsibilities I have. I have a lot of responsibilities. Usually user have 1, 2, 3 or 5, 6 responsibilities. Now here, this is list of values. List of value, what we can say, LOV. So if we click on LOV, if we just click on LOV, so LOV automatically makes shortlisting. Okay, for example, if I want to see all the people starting with S, system should show, or all the responsibilities starting with S, I just need to press S. It will show me all starting with S. If I make the backspace, I click the G, so it will starting with the G. So some people, what I see, people here, for example, they want to see all the responsibilities starting with G, so they will put here GE and then percentage. So this is also a good option to search, but this is comparatively little bit slower. If you just, instead of doing this, just press this and press G, so it will just be much faster. So many users who are using Oracle applications, they are not aware or they don't use this. So that's why they spend a lot of unnecessary time on searching in the list of value. Anyhow, this is one thing. Now for example, if I come here in the journals, enter journal, so here I just click on the new journal. Now this is our main Oracle screen, which is in Java. So first of all, I will tell you this one, which is yellow field, is a must. This, if you open any Java form and if you find a field which is yellow, you must need to record data in this field. If you don't record, then system will not allow you to continue your work, or system will not allow you to save your data. And white mean this is an optional. If you want to fill, fill. If you don't want to fill, still this is okay. And if you come here, gray screen, so gray field, for example, so gray field indicates that this is read only. You can see the information here, but you cannot change. Okay, for example, I come here on the journal, I choose the test, and then if I come here in the line, for example, so these are the must fields. Okay, so here you put all of your information and then you can save. So here if you see this button, plus button mean you want to create a new record, and this button indicates that you want to search data. For example, if you are on any screen, if you come here, you need to find any record, you can click on the find. So find will show you data. For example, I need to review journal, I can click on the review, so it will show me whatever data is available in this form. Okay, so to review the data, I can just click on this button, it will show me a find journal screen. So from here I can give any criteria to find any journal. For example, I want to see the transaction which are available in January 21, and I can click here and find. So this way I can see find. If I just put down arrow, it will show more entries. So these entries are read only because these are grayed. Okay, gray field you cannot change. Now for example, I just need to add a new record. I can come here, click on the plus button. So plus button, as I explained you, this is for the new record. Okay, this is for the new record, this is for the search, and the third button is for the show navigator. If you want to go to the main navigator window, you can click on the navigator, for example, because this is a must field, so this has to be filled. Now for example, I go here, so it will go to the navigator. So this is our main navigator. If you come here, you will see this is like plus will expand this menu, okay, and then this will collapse this menu. Minus mean collapse this menu, and if we just click on the plus, this one is, it will expand this menu and all sub menus under this. Okay, and if I just click double minus, so it will collapse some, and if I see expand all, so it will expand all the menus under this. Okay, so this is how you can expand and collapse your menus. Okay, for example, if you have many functions here, if you want to make a top 10 list for the actions which you normally perform, so you just choose some of the top 10 items. For example, this is enter, I want to put it here, and then for example this is post, I want to put it here. So I just put two functions which normally I do, and for example I want to put launch wizard also here, so I just come here and click the launch wizard. This is third one, and if I come here run, so I put the run also. So these fourth important things I just need to do, and then I have open and close. So these are the 5 functions which I do very frequently. So if I need to go on these, I just click on this one and click open. So you don't need to go to some other screens or to go to many screens to navigate this one. You just go and click on this, or you can just press the number beside this. For example, 1 2 3 4 5. So for example, I just need to go on this. So wherever I am here, I just press the 5 on my keyboard, so it will show me the number 5. I can just double click on this, or I can choose this one and open, or I just press the number of that function which is in the top 10 list. So this is the way how you can make your life more easier and more faster in terms of working on Oracle applications. Now if we come here in the enter, so I just come here in the new, so this is a form I just put here, for example test. Now as I explained you, this is to add new record, this is to search, this is to go to the navigator, and this button is to save your record. If you just press this one, okay, so it is saying that you cannot save until you have 1 line at least in this journal. So anyhow, I just go close this form, I just go on another form which is called for the open and close period. For example, in this periods I just need to do some changes. I make it close. Now this is closed. I press this one, so this will save my record. Okay, so this is next step, and this is switch responsibility, because we are now in a function. We open a transaction form. While we are on the transaction form, we cannot switch the responsibility. If I close this form, this button is to close the form. If you come and you see here, now my switch responsibility button is open. Okay, now this one is to print out. For example, you are here and you know a function name, but you don't know where this function is available. So what you can do, you just press Ctrl L, so it will show you a list of functions under the current responsibility. And for example, I just press O, so it will open a form for open and close period. So like this way you can perform your routine actions more quickly and more rapidly. Okay, now for example, this button, I just want to look at for example, I come here in the payables responsibility. Then for example, I come here invoices. If I need to search payable invoices, I can just open the invoices folder from here. I can find, for example, invoices. If this is a parameter screen, you can give any parameter to search your invoices, and if you don't give any parameter, then you will find all the invoices. So all the invoices, if you search, it will definitely take a lot of time, so based on the data. But as my instance don't have too much data, this is all mainly sample data, so it will not take a lot of time as it can take in your production or in your official environment. For example, we have only two invoices here. Okay, these two invoices are here. So this button is to close the form. This button is to cut the field. For example, I choose this one, I can cut this. Okay, like cut, copy, paste. Cut, copy, paste, I'm sure everyone is aware about the cut, copy, paste. After this button is to clear record. So if you want to clear this record, so it will clear the record. Clear record don't mean delete record. Clear record mean it will be clear from your screen. And here is another button called delete record. This button will delete actually record from your database if it is allowed, but most of the forms system don't allow, especially if the transaction is saved or posted. Okay, anyhow, if you just make some entry, and you did not save or post, you might be allowed to delete record. Okay, so after this is edit field. You can edit some field. For example, you can change the field in the editor, and then for example you have also, for example, here is something called zoom. This is to attach some files. If you want to attach some files with this, for example, payable invoice, you can just click on this, and for example from here you can choose the category. For example, I come here miscellaneous, and then for example data type, I just choose the file data type. Okay, I just click on, once I just click on this, then it will go here. You can just choose file from here, and you can upload to any of the form where you will find the attachment button. For example, I just choose this one and just submit. So it is going to attach one file with my form. So once I attach file, then I can just come here and I can close this form. Here even I can put the file name or URL. Anyhow, this is how I will do the attachment. So if you are working, for example, if you are working in Saudi HRMS, if you come here in the Saudi HRMS, there is one more button very much important for you, which is called date track. Because in HRMS, all the actions, whatever you will do, this must be on some specific date. Okay, so you can just double click on any form which is in HR. So you will find a button called here date track. So you can date track. For example, you are doing some transaction today, or you want to do some transaction 1 month before, or you want to do some transaction 2 months after. So you can change the date whenever you want to do the transaction, and then you can change this session, and from that date you can perform your action. And here is something called export data. You can export some data from here, and this will show you date track history, whatever the action you performed on some certain employee. So this you can see the date track history. So these three buttons will be available only in the Oracle HRMS. So I just explained you about the forms. So now let's see some important short keys which are very important for you to perform your routine actions. So normally if you are doing a lot of transaction on the data or on the professional forms, so short keys are very much helpful. And most of the people who are working on, especially on the data entry, or who are doing a lot of data transaction, they prefer to use the short keys. So first of all, we have F5. F5 will clear your field, whatever field you are available right now. If you press F5, so it will clear this field. So F6 is for clear record. As I explained you that there will be in the toolbar one button to clear record. Same like this, if you press F6, so it will clear your current record. Anyhow, if you have a block and under this, you will just clear press F7, so it will clear the block. And then if you click on the F8, so it will clear you it will clear one complete form. So we have clear field, clear record, clear block and clear form. I will tell you what is block, what is form and what is field and what is record. For example, if I come here in Oracle applications, so I just go to the, for example, payables manager. I just go to the invoices. I just find the invoices. So this, for example, this is a field. Right now what I am available, this is right now I'm available in a field. So this is one field, this is one field, this is one field. So this is field. So if I need to clear this field, so what I need to do, I need to press F5. Okay. For example, if I need to clear the record, so I can press F6. If I just press F5, so it will clear this screen. If I press F6, it will clear this record. Okay. If I press F7, so F7 will clear this form, clear this block. So what is block? For example, if I click on a form, so this is one block which is called master block, and this is another block which is having more detailed information. If I click on the line, so normally line is stored in another block. So if I see the complete information is stored in a form. So normally in one form there can be multiple blocks, and in one block there can be multiple records, and in one record there can be multiple fields. So if you press F5, you will clear the current field. If you press F6, you will clear current form. If you press F7, you will clear current block, and if you press F8, it will clear current form. Clear don't mean it will delete record, you must need to know. Okay. And then if you press Ctrl S, it will save your record. You know, many people, they don't have a habit to save the record, but if they have some shutdown or some crash happen, so they will lose the transaction or the data. So better, after doing some transaction, you save your record, and then for save the short key is Ctrl S. And if you press Ctrl up arrow, so Ctrl plus up arrow, so it will delete the current record, and Ctrl plus down arrow, so it will add a new record. And then if you need to search any data, you can click on the F11, and then based on the query criteria, you can press Ctrl F11 to see the results. For example, I'm on this field. I just need to search some record. For example, this record I need to search. I press F11. So whenever you press F11, so all the fields will be blue. So wherever you see the blue field, so here you can put the criteria. Okay. In the criteria, for example, I can put here standard invoice. Okay. And if we don't want to type all the word and we don't know, for example, so I can put here starting word with percentage. And now if I press Ctrl F11, so it will show me all the standard invoices. So I can put search record from F11 and Ctrl F11 on any of the field. Okay. For example, I know the invoice number 1001 and I want to search, and there is a lot of data. I can just come here, put the invoice number 1001, and I can press Ctrl F11, so it will show me all the invoices which are having number 1001. Or for example, I press F11 and I can put here 10 percentage and Ctrl F11. So Ctrl F11 will show all the data starting with 10. So this is how we can enter the query, or we can execute the query. So F4 will close my current form, and tab will be going to the next field, and Ctrl L will show you the list of value. If you come here, for example, in some certain screen you will find these three dots. Okay, whenever you find three dots indicates that there is a list of value. As I explained you, list of value, and then if there is a list of value, you can choose from that list. Okay, so if I press F4, it will close my current form. Okay, this is how you can work with the short keys in more effective way. For example, I go into the general ledger super user, and for example, I need to see some reports, or if I need to see some data which is available in the system. So what I will do, I can go to the view, request, and then submit new request. So from here a list of requests will be available. Some of them might be reports. Okay, so whatever will be the reports, your technical team or your development team will tell you you can run this report to see some data. For example, I need to run a trial balance. I choose one program which is one report which is trial balance. Once I choose this, so it will ask some parameters for each report or for each program. There can be certain different parameters based on the report, so you need to choose values from them. For example, what ledger you want to choose. Okay, so if you have more than one ledger, it will show a list of ledgers. What will be the currency, what will be the type, and for example what segments will be your page break segment. For example, I want to see based on the company, what will be the companies you want to see the data. I want to see the data for example ICM holding. And then for example, what will be the period, for which period you want to see trial balance. I say for example June, JUN, June 21. I want to see the data for June 21, and here you want to see what period to date or year to date or project to date. So for example, I want to see year to date. Click OK and submit. So once I submit, I just click on this find. So it will run a concurrent process, and then once this will be finished, then I can view the output based on the system load or based on your query. It will take some time. Sometime this report might finish couple of seconds, or sometime it will take 1-2 minutes or some hours. But you don't need to wait for this. You can do some other task, and then you can come here and review the result. If your report is very big and it takes a lot of time, you can schedule your reports so that every day, for example, you come and in the morning you can see the output. For example, we have a trial balance, and for this trial balance, if we need to see the output, I just click on the view output, so it will show me the output. This output we can configure in Excel or whatever the format you want, so that you can have the reports the way you want. The reports output can be in the text, it can be in the PDF, it can be in Excel, or it can be in the Microsoft Word based on the system configuration and setting. So this is all about Oracle e-business application navigation. I hope you like this lecture. If you like, please don't forget to subscribe, and with the subscribe, don't forget to press the ring icon so that you will be notified about all upcoming training videos. We are going to bring many Oracle training courses for you free of cost. Thank you very much.
You just installed. So first of all, once you install, you will log in with a user called sysadmin. From the sysadmin you will log in, and you first of all you need to create your own user. Like for example, I will go and I will create my own user. I go to the system administrator, another system administrator, there is security, and there is a users. In the user screen you will go and then you will define, and from that you can create your own user. First of all, you will put the username, and then you will put passwords. You need to put passwords 2 times. Okay, and then you need to assign the responsibilities. And actually, once you install Oracle e-business, there are many predefined responsibilities available in the system. So first of all, I will choose one responsibility called Oracle General Ledger Super User. Then I will choose Oracle Payables Manager, because I will do all the setups and I will assign the different responsibilities to that, so that I don't need to assign many responsibilities again and again. So first of all, I assign the General Ledger Super User, then I assign the Payables Manager, then I assign the Receivable Manager, then I assigned Fixed Assets Manager. After that, I assigned the Cash Management Super User. These are in actually 4 basic responsibilities, but once you need to do setup, you need some other responsibilities called like Purchasing Super User, like Inventory, like Order Management.
So order management. So you need to assign all of those responsibilities one time so that you will be able to build your initial setups. So you will assign the system administrator, application developer, functional administrator. These are the responsibilities already available. So I choose here Saudi HRMS manager, also Saudi HRMS manager for the Saudi Arabia HRMS setup, and I assigned XML publisher administrator as well. XML publisher administrator for defining and defining the reports for XML. As I explained you, I will choose the functional administrator, then I will save. I can choose Control S or I can choose the save button. So once you define the user, then you will go out, then you will log in with that user, because first of all, once you log in, once you installed, then you will log in with sysadmin user. After that sysadmin user, you can log in with your own user which you already created. And look, here we have many responsibilities which we already assigned to our user ICM. As I explained, as I created one user ICM, and then I will go and then I will open that user. So to do financial setups, first thing I will do, I will enable currencies. To enable the currencies, I have to go financials, and I have to go general ledgers, financial setups, and then I have to currencies, and then I have to define. In actually all the currencies which are used in the word are already there. You just need to activate. So from here you need to go F11, then from F11 you need to put your currency name and control F11. Then your currency will come here. You just need to go right side and then you need to click on the enable button. So enable button will enable the currency which you want to enable. So this is the first step you will do, and then you will move forward. So here I also enabled one more currency, PKR, mean Pakistani rupees, and I will see the USD actually is the base currency. So USD is by default enabled. If you are using transaction in USD, you don't need to enable your currency. This will be by default enabled. But if you need to use base transaction on another currency, you will use. Now we will define the calendars. As I already explained you that you need to define calendar based on the fiscal years or based on the calendar months or calendar year. So first you need to define calendar type. So I just create one calendar type called ICM calendar. So for each calendar type you can define how many periods you need that calendar type and what is the year type. So I choose here 13 because we will do 12 for monthly periods and one we will do for the adjustment transactions. So I choose the year type is calendar. So ICM cal, I create the calendar and I make it 13 periods and then I choose the type calendar. Now for example, if you need to create detailed calendars, you can go and you can create in the calendars, but you can upload through the data loader as well. So there is a very good software called data loader which you can choose to upload a lot of data, which is very helpful for the users. So we'll go to the website called www.dataloader.com, or we can go to the Google, and from the Google we will search data loader, and then we'll just provide some basic information, and once you provide the basic information, then it will allow you to download data loader. So along with the GL training, I am going to explain you how to download data loader and how to make setup and how to upload. So this is the script I have to upload the data, where we have already predefined calendars available. So I just need to fill the information in the data loader with a sequence format. And like for example, if you see here, I just put in the first column period name, then I put the tab, then ICM calendar, then tab, then year, then tab, then month,
then quarter, then month. Like this I put all the information. Now you see how I am going to upload the calendars. So I just need to define one more accounting calendar, and then from here here you can define your calendars, or you can upload. For example, I just upload, I choose here that the other or the e-business, and then I will choose from here the window which is already open. So that window is Oracle Applications Prod. So I just choose Oracle Applications Prod and just I click OK. So it will start uploading my calendar. And you can increase or decrease the speed for upload. So if your network connection speed is faster, you can reduce the speed, but don't reduce too much. It will not be very fast, because if you make it very fast speed, then you might miss a lot of data. Like if you see here how I will upload calendars through the data loader in newly defined system. See here how it's very fine and very quickly uploading. I just need to see, watch. I don't need to go and sit and upload all the data one by one, or I don't need to create data one by one. I just make one script, and from that script I can upload all the data. I normally use data loader a lot to upload a lot of different types of data. After defining the calendar, you just need to create a legal entity. So you can go to the accounting setup manager in the GL setup, and then from here you can define the legal entities. This is the legal entities. But before defining the legal entities, there are some prerequisite setups are required if you are in Saudi Arabia. Okay, this you need to do. I already did that part. So for example, if you come here, you need to go and then you need to create a legal entity. Like for example, I just tried to make legal entity creation, but I cannot, because for that I just need to create tax profile for that company. So you must need to have a tax profile defined. If you don't have, then you cannot create your legal entity in Saudi Arabia, for example. So for that you need to have a legal entity manager. So just go to the legal entity manager, and from the legal entity manager you can go and create your tax profile. But before that, you must need to know if you assign any responsibility which is self-service based. Once you assign, it will not work immediately. Either you have to rebounce Apache, or you need to go in the functional administrator, and from there you need to clear your cache. So like this you can clear your cache. We mostly use cache clear to activate such type of responsibilities which we are assigned. So now once I assign, then I can go to the legal entity configurator, and from there I will go to the setups. From the setups, you need to create a new jurisdictions. So if you come here, legal entity configurator, then you will go setup, then you need to go to the jurisdictions. And jurisdictions, you need to choose your jurisdiction like Saudi Arabia. Then you just give any name. So I just put here Saudi commercial law, and I just put identifying option yes, and then I need to go legal entity registration code. So there are different types of rules based on the different countries you will choose, but here I will choose company registration with no validation, because if you will assign any country based on that country, it will activate some rules in some modules. So I just choose here registration number, no validation, and then registration number, no validation. So this is a prerequisite setup before creating the legal entity in Saudi Arabia. If you must need to do this. So after legal entity creation, we'll again go to the accounting setup manager and we'll continue our accounting steps. Here financials, then you need to go and you need to define accounting setup manager. Come here and define new legal entity. Here I will define a new legal entity in Saudi Arabia, in Saudi territory, and then I will just give the name like Abadur Rahman Establishment, because ICM Software House is a group of companies which is having many companies. So I will just go and create setup and the structure for ICM group of companies. ICM group of companies is having one company registered in Saudi Arabia named Abadur Rahman Establishment. So first of all, I create the company Abadur Rahman Establishment in Saudi Arabia, which there are offices in the Bab Street. Like this, I will just first of all provide the legal entity basic information, legal entity name, number. Then I will create an address. In address, I will just provide the address, location, and then I'll just go to the next step where I will just put apply. Now if you see, I just created one company, and then I will just create another company which is in Pakistan. Which is ICM Software House. For ICM Software House, I give another name, another number which is called 1001, and I just give legal identity identifier which is ICM1. After you define your legal entity, you can go and you will search. So you will see that there will be multiple legal entities. Like for example, I defined Abadur Rahman Establishment, but it created two organization. One is having type legal entity, and another is having establishment. Same it will be with the Pakistan. So if you go and you see in the Pakistan, I created two. One is ICM Software House, and other setups, as I explained you, ledger is the core basic part which is linked, which is defined for any company. If you need to define a ledger, before that you must need to create the some prerequisite part. First of all, you have to create your legal entity. After that, you need to create your chart of account, which is your flex field, accounting flex field. Then you need to define your currency and calendar. We already defined currency and calendar. Now we just need to define our chart of account. Like if you see here, I just assign the role for flex field security to two users, so that both users can define the flex field values. Now to define the flex field value, I can define the values in the general ledger, as well as I can define the value from the system administrator responsibility. You need to come to a journal ledger and then flex field value sets.
and then you need to choose journal ledger, accounting flex field, then you need to choose your structure, and then you need to choose your segment. You can choose segment by segment, or you can define just open all the segments, and then you can from the down arrow add many values. Like first of all, I will add the values for the company. In the company, I just choose ICM Business Group. ICM Business Group is going to be a parent organization. Under that, I will be having ICM Software House and ICM Abadur Rahman Establishment. ICM Software House, I just put the code 101, and Abadur Rahman Establishment, I give the code 102, and ICM TV, I give the code 103, and ICM Production House, I give the code 104. And then ICM Rahman International School is going to be 105, and then Rahman Science Academy will be 106. So after that, Rahman Training Institute will be 107. So this is a list of companies which I add in my flex field value set. So these are the values which I am just adding there. After that, 107 will be Rahman Computer Institute. So this is a group of companies, and these are the name of the companies which are entered. And then ICM Group is having one more company called My Services. My Services mean managing you services. This is social media services by ICM Software House. Now this is just I added the values for departments. On the parent, like ICM Business Group, I just add the qualifier like allow budgeting and posting to no, so that user will not be able to add or post add budgeting or posting value here. Now second, I choose the departments. Here I will choose a list of departments which are available in that company. Like for example, admin department. Like for example, we have human resource department. We can add IT department, HR department, and a list of all the departments which exist in the organization. After that, I just add the projects. So whatever will be the list of projects, it has to be added in that company. Normally there are different types of companies. Some are the project based companies, some are the manufacturing companies, some are the different types of companies. So based on the company, if your company is project based company, so normally companies had the projects segment. So I'll just add the project segment, and I will continue on that. Whatever will be the projects, I will add here. So like we have a customer called Delta Group of companies. For that Delta, we provide support. Support is a one project. Like this, some implementation is another project. Now if you come here, you need to put the accounting value. In the accounting value, there are 5 qualifiers. First of all, allow budgeting, allow posting, and then there is an account type. Account type is your account is what? It's asset, liability, expense, revenue, or owner's equity. These are 5 different types of account. Of course, you know the accounts. Some are profit and loss account, which is called revenue and expense. Some are the balance sheet accounts, which is called assets, liability, and owner's equity. So these are the accounts type, and the impact for those account types is available. So these account types impact once you close your year, because profit and loss account, which is expense and liability, those will be waived off, and the profit will be transferred. Profit or loss will be transferred to one account called retained earning account. Whereas the balances for asset and liability, which are the balancing account, the balance remains same, and it will carry forward to the next year. So here I can upload the value through the data loader, as I am uploading through the data loader. I explained you already what is data loader, how to download, and how to use data loader. So here I am going to create a new ledger. As before the ledger, I just created legal entity, I created chart of account, I created calendar, and I created I defined the currencies. So first of all, I just need to create legal entity here. This is how I am going to create a ledger. Like AUR primary ledger, Abaidur Rahman primary ledger. Then I just assign the chart of account which I created before. Then here I assign calendar, then assign the currency, then I have to choose here accounting method. Now I will create two ledger. One is primary ledger and another will be secondary ledger. For the primary ledger I just choose standard accrual as an accounting method. So we have standard accrual and then encumbrance accrual, and then we have standard cash and we have encumbrance cash, which we can use it here. Now we have secondary ledgers. I'll just create one secondary ledger also, because for example I have a company in Saudi Arabia. For that company I will choose currency as a Saudi Riyal, and then I will just create another company, another ledger currency PKR. After the ledger creation, like you see, I just created two ledgers. One is primary ledger and another is secondary ledger. After that I just need to update accounting information for that ledger. First of all I will go and change update accounting information for primary ledger, then I will go and change update accounting options for the secondary ledger. Now this is accounting information. First of all I will assign balancing segment value BSV, because I defined ICM, I defined different segments in our chart of account, and for that we defined one segment which is called company, which is having company or legal entity. Company will be legal entity, and then we assign this legal entity balancing segment value which with that company. So we need to map legal entity with our chart of account value which is having balancing segment qualifier. Now first of all we assign the balancing segment value, then we need to go and give the ledger options. Like I just come here in front of the ledger options and I need to click update. Once I update, I'll just give the primary ledger name and then primary ledger short name. These are the options which we need to fix. For example, what will be the first period open, and then how many periods you can enter as a future enterable periods. Because normally, for example, if you are working in January, so you want to record some transaction for February, March and April, for 2-3 consecutive months, so that user will not only be able to record the transaction in 1 month, he can be able to record transaction for upcoming periods as well. Now here most important thing is called retained earning account. Actually, as I explained you, retained earning account is a profit and loss account. Profit and loss account means at the end of the year, once your profit or loss will be calculated, your data will be transferred, or your balance will be transferred to the profit and loss account. You fill all these information, and then after that you go and you review and then just click confirm. After that you need to choose reporting currency. I'll not choose reporting currency because for the reporting currency I have a secondary ledger. So we just need to click on the update and complete, so that we just don't give any detailed information for reporting currency, and we'll move forward. So here we need to assign balancing segment values for the other entities. So for me, balancing segment value for one segment is already assigned, so I just go and complete. After that I need to define operating units. So from here you can define your operating units under that legal entity, link with that ledger which will be the primary, and then you can run replicate seed data on this from the system administrator responsibility. I just created one operating unit called AUROU, and this will be under set up business group because I did not define the business group, but conceptually I can define a separate business group, and then under that there will be legal entity. But as for example, once I defined the structure, I did not add the business group. So once I don't add the business group, it will take default business group, which is called setup business group. I just choose a setup business group, and then under that setup group my legal entity will appear. After ledger creation, you just need to go and create the intercompany account and the sequencing. And once you put the legal company account, once you give the intercompany account and the sequencing, you just go and complete for the timing. Then you can create the, it later. So now I am just putting the secondary ledger option. So here, if we define primary ledger and the secondary ledger, then we need to assign some profile options. Profile option need to be assigned to those responsibilities. Normally profile options are used to control some certain type of security on some responsibilities. So here I need to choose ledger name, GL ledger name, because whatever the ledger name I will choose, all my transactions will be recorded in that responsibility. So I have one responsibility called general ledger super user. For that general ledger super user, I choose AUR primary ledger. So I can have two separate responsibilities for each ledger. As I already have one responsibility, general ledger super user, now I will define one more responsibility which will be for the secondary ledger. So to define a new responsibility, I can go and I can choose the predefined responsibility. For that predefined responsibility, I can choose the options which are linked with that, like for example menu, and then what is the record group assigned to that, and then I'll just create my own responsibility and assign those things to that. So I define two responsibilities. For second responsibility, now I assign secondary ledger, so that in my general ledger super user I will see AUR primary ledger, and in the another responsibility I will see the transaction and the data for the secondary ledger. Now I'll create financial periods. Financial periods, I will open the period. I'll just go to the general ledger super user, and then in the general ledger super user I will go and I will open the periods. I just assigned operating unit for my main responsibility, and then I will go to the general ledger super user. Here I can choose the sequential numbering option to be partial used, to be fully used, or to be not used, or always used, you mean. So partial used mean if you have sequence, I can go and open and close period. Open and close period from the general ledger. General ledger you can go and open period. Set up, open periods. From here you can open one period, then you can open any specific periods where you want to record the transactions. Once you define the period, then you can create your transaction. To create the transaction, you will go to the general ledger, and then you will go to the ledgers. You can go to the journals, and then you will go enter. From here you can define your journal, or you can search the journal. So you will see on the top you need to give the journal name, you need to give the journal description, you need to choose ledger, then you need to choose the category.
By default there are many categories available. Then you need to choose the period where you want to do the transaction. What will be the date? Here you need to choose the account which you define in your chart of account, the accounts which are available in your accounting flex fields. So from the accounting flex field I just choose these accounts, and then once I choose all of those accounts, then it will build a combination which is called GL code combination. This code combination will be started, and we have on the top code combination. If you see on the down, you will see accounting description as well. Now you put the debit account value, and then you will choose another account and put the value for credit account.
So we will make the credit entry now, and like this we will make one entry debit and one entry credit. But there can be more than one entries. For example, you can have a JV which might be having as many lines as you want. Okay, so you will put, but the total of debit and credit should be equal in order to post your transaction. If for example you don't have the balance journal, there is a difference in the amount, so you cannot post. So this is our first entry. We just make our first entry in the system. We can go, we can research, and we can requery. So this is our first JV created after our first initial setup. Now we can run a report and we can see actually here it's giving us error in the posting. And if we will go and we'll see the view output, we will see what is the problem. So it's saying that missing conversion rate to replicate journal. So like if you have other currencies, then for those currencies you must need to have conversion rate. As we have a primary ledger and we have a secondary ledger also. For the secondary ledger that is in another currency, so we should have currency conversion rates to be defined. So if our conversion rates are already there defined, then system will automatically convert. So let's define some rates. So here you will define the currency conversion rates. So we can record daily, or we can give a range of the period. So here I am giving a range, like from 1st February 2020 till it will be like 20 June 2020. So I will make the corporate rate, and I will give the currency conversion, how much is the rate from SAR to PKR. Okay, like this you have to either record on the daily basis conversion rates. Now if we will go and we will try to post, so it will post. Well, now I will make one more entry with the Saudi Riyal currency in another ledger. Now I'll post again. Now I will see it will allow to post or no, and I'll see it will show the status. Now it's posting. Before it failed because there was a problem. There was no currency conversion rates properly defined. Now let's try to run the trial balance also. We have a lot of built-in predefined reports available. Some out of them are trial balance. So let me run the trial balance. So trial balance, I need to give the parameters. So in the parameter I give the period January 10. It should be January 20. I just put the January 10. Okay, and we can put period to date or year to date. Anyhow, we can run account analysis report as well. So there are many predefined reports. Whenever you install fresh Oracle instance, so you will find many reports. So I'm just Now I'm making a new request for the account analysis report, and I'll choose the starting period, ending period, account range, and the order by. It will be order by account segment or the balancing segment or which segment I want. So I must need to give a range of account which I want to see. It can be one account or it can be more than one accounts. So like this you can have a report which is predefined report to see the analysis. So I just choose only on the one department, choose only on the one project, and here I choose some assets. All the accounts, I choose all the accounts. For all the accounts, it will on one company, it will run account analysis report. Now if you see, my journal posted successfully, and now I can go and see the result in the trial balance. If I choose the trial balance, so this is account analysis report which is created. You can see the output. Okay, so output is not very good, but this output we can convert it into the XML. So there are many reports are coming with standard XML templates. We just need to apply, we just need to convert the report output type to be XML, then the format will be changed if the format is already there. XML template is already there, otherwise we can have our own XML template. So this is trial balance also, because I ran the trial balance on January 10 by mistake, so the trial balance it's showing no result. Now I'll run it again on the with the new parameters. Now I choose January 20 and I choose period to date. So we have period to date, we have year to date, we have project to date. Now let's see in January 20 what it will show as a trial balance. So we have primary ledger, we have secondary ledger. So once we go to the primary ledger, it will show the data, and then we can go to the secondary ledger and we can post also secondary ledger, and we can see the secondary ledger transaction. Here we have for the secondary ledger, here we have debit and credit in Saudi Riyal, as well as it's showing in the PK rupees. But I think we did wrong the conversion, and so PK rupees is higher. What we can say, we just reverse the currency in the while creating the conversion rates. So that's why the amounts it's showing the wrong. We'll go to the journal ledger super user and we will find our main journal. So this is our main journal which we created. So now we can reverse the journal. So you will come here in the reverse, choose the period in which month you want to reverse, and then after that you will reverse. So reverse will do what? It will create a journal called reverser journal. So we can go and see, because it will run a request. Once this request will complete, so we need to first see the request for the reverse. So this request will take a little bit of time, like couple of seconds. So after that, once the request is done, completed, then it will create a reversal journal. So once we have a reversal journal is there, then we can post the reversal journal. So then it will impact our trial balance, and or it will nullify our actual impact. Now we see reversal journal is already created. So we post the reversal journal. So once we post the reversal journal, so as I explained you, it will it will cancel the impact. Okay. Now I'll go to the secondary ledger also, and from the secondary ledger we will also reverse the journal which is created. We will reverse and then we will post again, so that in the secondary ledger also this transaction will be, you can say, reversed. Now let's correct the rates. Okay, these are the rates. I put here PKR to SAR. This one, it should be from SAR to PKR the same rate, 43.5 or whatever. So I just change the rate. So this rate should be copied to all the dates. Now I change for whole January. Okay. Now I will create a journal and I'll show you what is the difference. Now let's create a new journal.